welcome back to Testimony episode 5. Let's give it up for the 5th episode. I can't believe we at 5. I'm your host, Dave Parker, and today I have a really special and amazing guest on. I'm just gonna tell you a little bit about her because she's that girl. So she's a really great and successful lash tech. She's a newfound author and she's an entrepreneur. So without further ado, let's give it up for my friend, Mia.
Hey everybody, I'm Mia. Mia Mulan, 2 N's. Don't forget that double N. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, thank you for being here.
Of course.
Today's topic is going to be about vanity, and I am just going to talk about navigating vanity through Christ. So let's go ahead with that. Since I already introduced her, let's go ahead and get into the tea. Okay, so first I need to tell the people, just in case they need to know, what is vanity. So we looked up the definition and it is excessive pride or admiration in one's appearance.
Mm-hmm.
So today in the world, I feel like with social media, it's very easy to become vain and obsessed with your looks.
For sure.
So let's go ahead and talk about Ecclesiastes, because in Ecclesiastes chapter 1, one of the greatest kings that ever lived, Solomon, explains that everything is pretty much meaningless. So he was one of the richest. He had everything in that time that you could imagine: servants, a castle. I'm sure he just had extravagant things.
Very rich.
Yes. So I just want to know, because he had everything, but he still wrote in chapter 1 of Ecclesiastes that he felt empty and everything felt meaningless. So do you think it's possible to ever be satisfied with material things?
To be completely honest, like, just to take a step back, like how you said how Solomon, everybody don't know, but he was the richest and he had everything that, money could buy. So that's like back then. So just imagine like now, like it goes without saying, people say all the time, like money can't buy you happiness, money can't buy you everything. Or they say some of the richest people are the loneliest. They're literally like, they're the most broken. And I don't believe that money can buy you everything. Like happiness doesn't come with money, Okay. It can buy you what you want, but it can't buy you happiness.
Okay, because that's like a motivation factor, I feel like, just behind even social media. Like everybody's goal is to basically use their looks, especially women. They try to use their looks to get what they want and to attract a certain type of man, so that man can already come built like as a provider. Because the Bible does say like a man is supposed to provide. So I'm just trying to see, what do you think as far as like the motivation behind this generation just taking pictures and being so obsessed with their looks?
To be completely honest, it's like, it's hard because it's like with social media, right? Social media has this obsession, like with looking a certain type of way, like having certain things. And like we said, like a lot of people, they think that women, like specifically, they're supposed to provide, but they never ask the question, like, provide what? Because you have to ask yourself, like, okay, as a man, what am I supposed to provide? Like a lot of people, they don't understand how to actually know what they want. Or when you're asking for a man, like, okay, well, yes, I want a man that provides, but what do you want him to provide you with? You want him to provide you with a home. You want him to be able to provide you financially, spiritually, because it's like you have to be very specific on what you want. And I think that people are more so into the idea of things and not exactly what the item is, or they just want the idea of something that is what everyone else has. Right. And I think that that's what the whole like gray area is.
Yeah, and I just wanted, since you mentioned the gray area, let's just go ahead and talk about your book, because I love that point that you made, by the way. But what inspired the gray area? Like, the gray area is Mia's book, for those that don't know. Mm-hmm. So I just want to know, like, what made you write?
So I was really sitting at home and life was passing me by.
Okay.
But no, seriously, like, just as a person, like, because this is just like a little personal note. Mm-hmm. Like, on social media, right? Mm-hmm. I have this negative connotation where people associate me with, because they assume, like, they try to attach characteristics to my looks. Mm-hmm. Where it's like a lot of people, they think that because if I'm good looking, but it's like you have to really ask yourself, what is pretty? Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Like, what is your definition of the word pretty? Because it's like, I may not be, pretty to someone else. Everyone else has their own, like, different desires and looks and what they want and different things like that. So it's like, I've had conversations with people where they'll say, like, oh, well, Mia, I thought that, when I met you, you were going to be stuck up. I thought you were going to be snobby. All the time. Like, I never gave that. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm a very humble person, I like to say. Yeah. And when I was thinking of the gray area, I'm like, okay, listen. At that place, when I wrote it and when I started to write it, because it really didn't start out a book. I didn't wake up saying, like, okay, today I'm going to be an author. Like, no, I never thought that. Like, I had went back into, I was on YouTube, I'll never forget. Mm-hmm. I was on YouTube and I'm like, I miss life being back to the basics. And I know it's cliche or whatever, but a lot of people, they'll ask me too, like, Mia, like, you rarely post. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't be posting like that no more. Like, you had these good looks in terms of, like, fashion-wise. Mm-hmm. And you never post on social media, like, what's going on. So I'm like, it's nothing going on in terms of it just being like social media, but I really had to take a step back from social media and ask myself, like, who am I for real outside of the internet? Mm-hmm. Like, do people really know who I am outside of the internet? If the internet was to go down right now at this moment, would people know if you said my name? Would people know who I am? Right. So I went back to the basics and I went to YouTube and I looked up Mary Jane. Mm. And so, like, anybody who knows, like,
the show with
Gabrielle.
Oh, okay.
So she used to write post-it notes to herself.
Yeah.
Like, and I really liked that, like, growing up, being in high school and stuff like that. I'm like, it was cute aesthetically, but now that I'm older, she really was fighting a lot. Like, depression, like, she was going through a lot. And so I'm like, you know what, let me start writing notes to myself, like affirmations and different things like that. Even when I'm feeling down, like, let me write what I felt the actual day. And that's where the gray area came about. Mm-hmm. Where I was like, you know what, let me start, like, jotting down different things. So I'm like, I'm in, like, this weird space, and I'm just like, have you ever been in a space where, you really just felt like you wasn't good enough? Society made you feel like you were behind in life. Society made you feel like at a certain age you were supposed to be doing X, Y, and Z. And I asked, and I told myself, like, if I was 25, right? 25, I was supposed to have a car. I was supposed to have a six-figure paying job. I'm not supposed to have any kids. Like, society makes us believe that we're supposed to be a certain way, but it's like, if everything is supposed to be that way, then where does these different words of creativity come from? Authenticity. Like, if we're all the same, then nobody's authentic anymore. Right. So it made me think, like, okay, I feel like everybody has these books and, like, these ebooks and, we go on social media and it's like everything is the same. Mm-hmm. Like, nothing is real and raw and transparent. So I'm like, I want to create a lane and I want to create a personal journal. And, like, for people to be able to write down their ugly truth. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, you know what? I have tears that was dripping on that book, like, and I started over so many times. Like, still, even right now, I still feel like I'm in a gray area. Mm-hmm. Like, and I feel like there's beauty in a gray area because it's just, it's beauty in being transparent, because it's like you never know, like, who you could help. in certain situations. Like I could just be having a conversation with somebody, and it could just help them get through a day. Like, so it's like I want us to create a safe space for yourself. Because I feel like when you create a safe space for yourself, then you could be a safe space for others.
I love that, because I was going to ask you, what do you want the viewer to get out of the book? Like, I mean, not the viewer, the reader to get out of the book. What do you...
To be honest, I want it to talk to your inner self. Like, I want it to talk to 12-year-old you. 15-year-old you, even 30-year-old you. Like, you know, it's okay to not be okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to tell yourself, like, hey, listen, like, people don't really realize, like, it's really okay to not know what you want in life. Not saying that you can slack off. By any means, I'm not saying, like, procrastinate or anything like that, but I am saying that in procrastination, you can really become a beast and tell yourself, like, listen, I'm tired of, like, wasting on my talent. You know, write down your ideas. Like, you know, tell yourself, and I have so many different, like, affirmations inside of the journal where it's like, even right now, like, I told myself, what could I really label the gray area as? You know? And I like the fact that I didn't really promote it. I just like created it and I dropped it in terms of saying like it's coming soon, because I want to keep people anticipating. And so it's like I want people to really like look into their inner selves and tell themselves like, okay, listen, you gotta get up. You gotta figure out what you're gonna do. Yeah. This is me. Accept you for who you are, like flaws and all. Like, and I know it sounds a little cliche. I don't want to give too much because I don't want people to be like, okay, I don't really want to read that. I feel like, but it's like, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. I can't say.
I feel like that is so important, because a lot of people don't deal with that, like inner hurt or trauma that they've had when they were a child, and they don't even realize as they operate through life. I've seen it time and time again. They taking it out on other people and how they treat their other people that's around them and they self. Like, you can tell the people that talk to themselves in a positive way inside and the people that talk to themselves in a negative way.
And I have a little both inside of the journal, where it's like sometimes you do question yourself. Like, you ask yourself like, okay, am I really supposed to be doing this? And it's insane, because even like conversations that you thought that I never was like jotting down, like not even being weird or anything like that, but like even small conversations that I've had with all of my close friends, like I'll randomly just ask a question like, you know, how you feeling today? Or how do you feel about this topic? I've took notes from everybody and like what everybody was going through and was like, okay, listen, this is going to be great, because I'm like not really talking about what people have going on, but really what you have going on, and like creating it in my own words and being like, okay, I want to be able to relate to everybody. I don't want to be able to relate to just women. I want men to be able to, and that's why I chose the color gray, because it's unisex. Like, and it has no gender.
Everybody.
So it's everybody has a voice. So I want people to use it, and even if it starts with writing.
But just to even go deeper with that inner voice, I feel like everybody has the inner voice because God put the Holy Spirit into all of us when He created us. So you can either have that spiritual awareness to know like this is God speaking, or this is the enemy speaking and using me. And some people just never reach that level of
maturity. Spiritual maturity.
But it's so critical. Like, it's really been a game changer for me, because certain thoughts I'm able to sort, like this is the devil trying to tell me what to do, and this is God. Like, I need to follow this voice because that's God.
Of course.
So I love that you said that, and writing it down, and that's why I love that you have a book where people can write down that trauma, because writing stuff down has really changed my life personally. Like, I don't think I would be the same person if I didn't really write to God every single day about how I'm feeling. Like, and some days I skip, don't get me wrong, but writing is something about writing.
So you write down every day?
every day. I try to. Like, I'll write down what I'm feeling to God, and then I'll read the Bible.
Okay.
And I promise you, Mia, I'm not.
What do you do with it?
Huh?
What do you do with what you write? You just put it in your journal? Or?
I just put it in the journal. And when I'm reading the Bible, whatever I put in my journal, it pops up. I'm not like, that's not a coincidence. That's why I'm like, people just don't know.
God knows.
Yes, the relationship that God want to have with us, like, some people just don't even, I love it.
It's not forced. And I think that's what people think, that, you know, God gives you, you know, the willpower to be able to do whatever you want to do at your leisure.
Yeah.
And that's where the inner voice does come in at, where it's like a lot of what, and I'm glad that you said that, you know, people don't understand, like, it is a spiritual warfare.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and a lot of people say, oh, well, you know, I don't believe in God, but I believe in the devil. If you don't believe in God, then you can't believe in the devil. Because believing in God, you have to believe in the devil as well, too.
Mm-hmm.
Because they are like, I'm not even going to say that they are like, they're, I wouldn't even say enemies, but it's like I argue with the devil regularly. Like, I have regular conversations, like, when I'm speaking, like, and I want to clear it up so people won't get, like, a misconception of me saying, like, oh yeah, I talk to the devil. No, I have conversations with the devil, like, listen, not today. I'm not dealing with it. I'm not doing it. Like, all of the extraness that you want to, like, bring my life, you want to do too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to get me mad on the road. You want to, like, today, how we had a conversation or whatnot, and I was going through everything. It was like the devil literally, and it's cliche. People like, oh my God, I know people are going to be like, oh my gosh, that's so corny, but
yeah,
it's real. Like, how we had so many small, like, mishaps, and it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to be able to do this, or I'm not going to be able to do it. The devil really wanted me to just be like, nah, I ain't going to do it today. Nope. Yeah. But I was able to make it to the club yesterday, though, with no problems. No problems.
So true.
You get what I'm saying? I had no issues, no problems. Nobody canceled or anything like that. I'm just like, you know what?
You tell him to just stop and go away, and that's powerful. I just saw The Forge, the movie. Have you heard of it?
No, I've never heard of it.
It's a movie it's a Christian movie that's like in all theaters right now. And
The Forge?
Yeah, The Forge. And in the movie, she would just call up prayer warriors, and they would have those conversations, like, not today, with because it's power in the tongue. Like, the Bible teaches that what you say out of your mouth, and I try to be so mindful now. Like, I'm scared to even talk negative, because I don't want to give the devil any type of permission to come at me. So
I think I'm more nervous I think when it comes to that, I'm more nervous to disappoint God.
Yes.
Versus the devil, like, him, like, you mean nothing to me. Like, that's how I feel about the devil. Like, it's like, listen, we really, like, we fight heads up, like, for sure.
I love that.
Like, I'm like, for real.
Because
what you gonna do?
People just let him mollywop them through life, and it's like, that's not the way God wants you to live.
Yeah, I didn't flex the devil and DDT him a few times. I'm so serious. I'm so serious.
Wow. So I wanted to ask you about, like, having sex appeal online, because in today's world where OnlyFans is popular and all these different things, like, even just taking pictures online and being, like, showing off bodies and all of that, like, do you feel like that's necessary in today's world? Because for a while, I was obsessed with that. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I knew there was gonna be a time where I wanted to get surgery. I knew, like, I planned all of these things, and I wanted to look a certain type of way because of kind of the influence that I had from the internet. So I wanted to have this perfect look, and once I got it, I did still feel empty. So I just want to know, even today, like, nothing fulfilled me more than just knowing God and falling in love with Jesus. And now my whole mindset has changed. I'm like, I don't want to show my body off on the internet, even though I have a great body.
You do.
I don't. You do too.
Thank you. You do have a great body.
Yeah. So What do you think?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I think that you have reached a maturity level of your spirituality that a lot of people are still trying to get there. And it's like, we're only fans. Now, me personally, on a business aspect, because I've always been a person that was into my morals. Like, I'm I'm fearful of God. Secondly, I'm fearful of my mom, and I very, very, very much so. So it's not a situation where it's like I never wanted, because I always had the concept of like being like the pretty girl, like growing up being that way. I didn't want people to see me. I felt like at a very young age, I felt like I had a point to prove. And so I think that, me honestly speaking, I think that that's why I didn't really show my body off that much, because it's like, I've already had the whole like pretty girl privilege and all of that. So it's like, I don't want to be a pretty girl with a body. Like, I don't want to show off my body. Like, I like to have intellectual conversations where it's like, yeah, like the body and the face is just an asset. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's just an add-on. And so it's like, I feel like with people, and I really wouldn't even call it an insecurity, because I don't like the negative connotation behind, like, people being like, oh, if you show your body, you're insecure. That doesn't mean that. It just means that they haven't reached a level of understanding that they have more to offer. Maybe at that moment in that chapter in their life, realistically speaking, that's probably all that they can do. And the reason why I'm saying that now, because of course, like, as humans, we naturally judge people. And we shouldn't, but it's just in the flesh. That's what we do. So it's like, I've had conversations with girls who are half naked on Instagram, half naked on Facebook, doing OnlyFans, and they're doing certain things, and it's like, having a real conversation with them, they're like, you know, I just do this because, you know, I had two girls tell me, like, I like the attention. I like the attention that I get, because I'm not getting it from X, Y, and Z, and it has nothing to do with a man or a woman or anything like that, but it's something that they're yearning for.
So, I love that you mentioned, like, girls on the internet doing things for attention, because I just want to know, like, do you feel as though this generation glorifies Instagram models and the internet and like beauty? Do they like put it over everything, you think, for attention?
I don't think it's just women. I think it's men too. Men are Instagram models as well.
Yeah, we can't exclude the fellas, because it's some dang fellas out there.
It is. I think that, like I told you before, I don't think that they glorify it. I think that it's the idea that they glorify, like the things that people have. So they feel like, okay, if I do this, if I do that, then I'll be able to have this. This will be the outcome. I think people, they enjoy looking at people's lifestyles, and they don't really understand like the work that they put in. You get what I'm saying? They're only seeing the reward.
Right.
And so I think that it's just the idea of being able to have whatever you want, be able to look a certain type of way, and it's the idea that they like, more so like glorifying like being an Instagram model, like. And believe it or not, I just feel like a lot of people, our generation, I'm not gonna say our generation, because I don't feel like the millennials have that issue more so. I think it's more so like the procrastination that people have. People want the reward, but they don't want to put the work in. So they like, you know what, I'm just gonna be an Instagram model. And people don't understand, like, and it's like also too, I don't like the connotation that people feel like Instagram models or people who are on a social media platform, that they don't work, because they do. Like, it is hard work. Like, being a content creator is literally just as hard as punching in a 9 to 5.
Oh,
like,
yes, I know.
And it costs money. You get what I'm saying? Like, even what you're doing right now, even just everything that people are doing, like when you know that when you have the passion behind something, I don't really think that it's too much of an issue in terms of just like glorifying it. I think that people really need to figure out what they want first.
Yeah.
And
they want, I like that you said they want a reward without putting the work in, because they don't know the God that we have and that created all of us. He wants you to have a soft life. He wants you to live and just give you things and have the desires of your heart, but your heart posture not right. So,
exactly.
It's
if
like,
you don't understand that he put the work in too.
Yeah.
To be able to get the reward of us. Like us being able to really do what we want to do in life. Like he really grants us the liberty to do whatever it is that we want. We have the power to do whatever.
Right.
Like that literally. So it's like people don't understand that.
Yeah, because
he sacrificed.
He did. And it's like he wants to withhold no good thing. It says that in the Bible. So it's like people are looking for that through social media when God is already doing those things. So I love that you said that. So let's get into the next question, which is, how do you maintain your relationship with God? Because to be honest, Mia, you've always been an it girl. Like before, okay, so a little backstory on how I even met Mia. She was the very first person to ever do my eyelashes, ever.
I was horrible.
No, she was good. I came and I always followed you because I'm like, she's pretty. And she know how to dress. Like, so I was like, when you started doing lashes, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to her because she already, know how to dress and all that. I know she's gonna hook me up. So ever since then, we just been, what was that, like, almost, that
girl, they don't even want to know the backstory on how you became.
You were, I think I was like 19, 18 when I first met you. Like, and now.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, so I just want to know, like, what do you do? Because I didn't even know, like, out of nowhere, I just saw that. I mean, I know we all love God, but I'm just saying, since you've matured and now you newly, do you mind me telling your age?
No, you can tell me.
You're now 30, because I'm 29, so I'm almost there, but life's, and I've just seen you mature and grow a relationship with God. So I'm just wondering, like, how did that come about? When did you realize he was real? Like,
well, I always knew God was real. Like, that is something that, as kids, we've always, like, I'm not going to say that that's what we were, like, forced into. Because, like, it wasn't a force, but it's what we grew up on. You get what I'm saying? And so I did, first of all, I went to St. Matthew's preschool.
Oh, wow.
So I went to St. Matthew's preschool. I went to Fourth Presbyterian Church, like in terms of like for after school. And then I can't even I can never forget, like I went to Kids Club, And so with Kids Club, Kids Club it was a youth center for kids in Cabrini. Like, for all of us to be able to come together. Like,
so you grew up in Cabrini and in the church? Yeah.
So Kids Club had Cabrini children, but it was church based. So everything that we did, like, I had baptized, like I gave my life to Christ at Camp Mayoka. And I think at that time, I believe I was 9.
Okay.
I was 9 years old. I went to Camp Mayoka, and my relationship with God has always been there. Like, my mother has always had a great relationship with God. And so it was more so like growing up on that and being a person where it's like my mother did like allow me to have my own relationship with God. It was always instilled in my family, like all the time, where there were certain things that we had to do. But it was more so like as I got older, like my spiritual beliefs, like I'm not going to lie and make it seem like, oh, okay, I've always believed in God, nothing else. Like, because at the end of the day, it's what I know. It's what, it's what I know, what I truly know.
Right.
So it was more so like a situation where it's like as I got older, I started to really see like, okay, God is absolutely real. Like there is, the only reason why I am here today is solely because of him. Like the things that could have happened to me, should have happened to me, and that was blocked from happening to me is because of him. You get what I'm saying? So it's like I don't see anything but him, realistically speaking.
So you always knew that though, like you always had that awareness.
Like always, it was always aware of. I know who my spiritual belief is, but in terms of like speaking it out loud, like how me and you were talking, like you used to be nervous. How you said you were nervous about praying out loud. Like my prayer has gotten stronger, and then like my cousin, she is very, very spiritual. So I have to absolutely say that she plays like a humongous part in terms of like my spiritual beliefs out loud, because everything that she does, like I want to say when it was tagged in Skype, like when we had bios as children, like bios as children, in her bio, I kid you not, I promise you, it has tagged.
No, she had God.
She had God first in every social media platform. We had a YouTube page. It has always been God first. And when I tell you that this girl, it has always been that. She has always talked about God. And just imagine like being...
And that's your closest cousin. Like, y'all are best friends.
Yes, like she is my cousin who absolutely turned into my best friend for sure.
Oh, wow.
So I have to absolutely say that my spirit, like the spiritual part of me, being out loud, like we have Bible study together. You know what I'm saying? Like we pray every morning. Like on our way, like when she's on her way to work, I'm on my way to Lash. Like we do that. Like
I love that.
Personal Bible studies. Like everything we do is through God for sure.
I absolutely love that, because that's so important. Like just having a friend that's in Christ with you. I mean,
and this is amazing for you. Like I now have another friend where it's like this is something that is new. Like people will try to say like, oh, you're lame, or you're trying to find a way, and it's insane to me like how when Christians do it, it's okay to get online and talk about what other beliefs that people believe in. Like I don't disrespect anyone else's beliefs, but it's like when Christians do it, it's like, girl, you're just doing it because you want some attention. It's okay to just to read and do whatever you're doing online. Like I'm just saying. So it's like whatever.
And that's been one of my fears, that people would think that about me, and it's like,
to know you is to love you. Like people, I'm so serious. Like, because I have to give you your flowers. What people don't really realize about you is that you are, when I say just a breath of fresh air, like you have had my back since that. We're not gonna talk about that, but the people don't understand the reason why I call you my ride or die. Like on another episode or something. I don't even think your sister knows. Yeah, your sister don't even know why I call you that. But seriously, like everything that you're doing like right now, like we need this. Like, because the life we're living right now is temporary. I know where I'm going. Where you going?
Okay. So I'm not going down there.
I'm not. I know where I'm going.
No, for real. And it's so funny because I don't know if Lex or you have experienced this, but it'd be like people would make little jokes at you when you start being like close and out loving God out loud.
Absolutely.
Like when you love God out loud, people would definitely 100%.
Well, so I'm not gonna lie. One thing that I do love about my spiritual belief, and like especially with Lexi, a lot of people don't really understand with her belief. Like I kid you not, like it has been situations where like somebody will try to talk to her, and like somebody else who knows her for real, they'll be like, that's a God-fearing woman right there. Like you don't even need that. She not even. But it's a great thing. But it's like if you are not God-fearing within yourself, then there's no reason to talk to her, because she's not gonna take you serious. And it's like even more so with me. Like when I'm having conversations with people, and people say like little certain things, they like, you know what? Let me just watch my mouth because I already know how you is. As long as you know, don't play with me when it comes to God. Like no, I won't get into it about him.
That's good.
And I'm supposed to catch an attitude. As Christians, we're not supposed to get mad.
But no, we need a couple bold people, because the devil is bold.
No, see, I go there, and it's not right, and it's like, I'm gonna have to ask God for forgiveness, and I don't want that, like, because it's like when I say something to you, I want it to just stick, and it's not Christian like, realistically speaking.
But no, I read the other day in the Bible, it's okay to be angry. It's about what you're angry about, though.
Yeah.
So God isn't mad that you're angry. He's just he actually wants you to be a warrior in Christ, but.
No, I be wanting to fight, like real life. Like don't play with him. Like
there's nothing wrong with that. I promise you, he's proud of you for that. So there's an argument that secular music kind of influences us to be more sexual and violent.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree with that? Because me personally, I have noticed like this shift in the music that we grew up on, and then because there's always been secular music, but now I feel like it's been taken to a whole nother level. Like,
I mean, why not? Like, I mean, see, people don't understand that the devil was in charge of the music, in charge of the entertainment. So why wouldn't like, he was one of God's angels? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why wouldn't he try to do everything to be able to knock us off our square? So absolutely, a lot of music is 100% demonic. You get what I'm saying? Like, it is. And realistically speaking, of course, like, we out here gyrating. But just, I mean, it comes with it. So I absolutely agree. Like, for sure, like, music is supposed to knock you off your square. It's supposed to, like, get you to a point where it's like, okay, I'm gonna do whatever, I want to do what the rapper's doing. But it's like, people don't understand, like, some people really take their rapping career as it strictly being a career, and when they sign out, they're a completely different person. Like, realistically, they are I'm not really doing none of that, what I was talking about in my music. Like, that just pays the bills, but I know where I'm going. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
That is such a good answer, because I found myself changing up my everyday playlist just because subconsciously, people don't realize that your subconscious mind really lives within you, and it kind of influences some of your decisions. Like, I just noticed the thoughts that I have are more peaceful now that I don't really, and it's not even that I just completely stopped listening to secular music, but like, I just listen more to positive music and God-fearing music than I do of the secular music. On my own time. But if I'm in like a party setting, I do find it hard to
relate.
Not even relate, just to
enjoy it.
No, I still enjoy it. I find it hard to just, I don't know, engage too much. That's what I want to say, because I don't listen to it on my own time no more. And I feel like the closer you get with God, the more holy he makes you, and he gives you a heart like his. And it kind of, I just don't let it poison my heart. That's what it is.
See, but you have that balance, and I think that's what people struggle with, like, being able to have a balance. And just to like ask you a question really quick, like, ask yourself this question in general. Like, people say, because people think that music, and it's a force where it's like, it could trick your mind into being like, okay, I want to be like what they talking about. I want to do what they're saying that they're doing. Like,
it's a mood.
Yeah, it is. It's a mood. And so people like, I'll never forget, like, people be like, I'm listening to this gospel on my way to work, and it's like, you shouldn't have to turn off one type of music and then go to the next to be able to put you in a spiritual cleanse. Like, if anything, turn your music off in general and ride in silence. And that is the most the loudest sound of music that you'll really find out within yourself, because people don't understand. Like, they feel like, okay, well, I'm listening to rap or whatever, but if I listen to the gospel, it's gonna make me, it's gonna change my mind and my mental for the day, which it will in certain cases for certain people. But it's like, ride in silence, Put on a Bible scripture. Like, allow the word to be spoken to you and hear it in order for, your day to go back. But that's all I'm saying.
So what do you specifically do? What do you listen to secular or?
So of course, realistically speaking, of course, I think that we all still listen to, music that just isn't God fearing.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm going through something, I don't listen to anything.
Okay.
I don't listen to nothing. I will, and majority of the time, if I'm not getting ready to go out or something, if you ever get in the car with me, 9 times out of 10, I'm riding. I ride in silence. I've been doing that since I was a kid. I will literally ride in silence because I need that moment when I'm in the car. I sit and I have conversations with myself. That's what I do. I talk to me. I talk to God. I talk to the devil. In terms of just saying, listen, I'm just not in the mood today. I don't want to go through it. I don't want to do it.
So you ride it, okay? Yeah. But when do you listen to music the most though? Does it ever influence you?
I think music only really influences me when I am about to get ready to go out, or if I'm just in this state of mind where it's you know what, I really like it. Majority of the time, and it's so crazy because I know I don't want this to get off topic, but my mind goes in such a creative place when I'm listening to certain music, where it's if I was to listen to this song and I was to direct this music video, I think about music on a more so of a creative basis.
Wow.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because you are really creative.
Thank you. That's where I'm listening. I'm listening, I'll listen to a song, right? And I think my new lane, I need to be someone's PR, just put it out there.
Okay.
But a PR or I want to be I don't know exactly what the title is, but it's I do want to incorporate Bible study with an artist if they don't already do it. You get what I'm saying? I want to be that person where it's listen, in your schedule, we are giving an hour or 2 hours to God. Because if you can put down you need a lunch break, you can put down that you need a Bible break.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
So it's nothing wrong with that. People feel okay, well, you shouldn't have to put in your notes. Yes, you do. You need a reminder because at the end of the day, God is a spirit. You get what I'm saying? So if you're not having someone tell you this is what you need to do, I gotta tell you to drink water. We gotta tell you when you need to get your makeup touched up. We could tell you okay, within 30 minutes while she's getting her makeup done, okay, well, this is gonna be your Bible study too. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to be. I think that's what my lane is in terms of that, and then just adding in different things what people need in their life. For sure.
So I think this is going to be our last question. So I'm going to go ahead and just make it a really good one. So was there ever a time where you didn't feel confident in your looks? And if so, what advice would you give to girls? Because social media is just such a
ugly place.
Yeah, you want to fit in there, and I used to be a victim of that. Just wanted to have the look that I wanted to, and I saw other people or just everybody having. I thought that was the way to look fly and good. And honestly, I can recall a time where I didn't feel that cute.
It absolutely has been a time where I would be beautiful to someone else, but I didn't feel it within myself. It'll be times where, I'm just ugh, I hate the way I look, and I think that has everything to do with something that's missing. And I feel when you're not feeling confident, confidence is the most beautiful thing that you can have as a person. I love, and confidence has no appearance. That's internal. So a lot of people don't really understand that. You can be confident at doing something. So it's it's hard for me to say now where it's a time where I didn't feel really confident because in my appearance, because that's being vain. It's being vain because it's like confidence doesn't have an appearance, like I said. So it'll be times where I was yearning for someone to tell me like, you do look good. Like, you know, you get what I'm saying? Where it's like, you know, you do look good. Like, you know, that doesn't look better. I needed the confirmation. And it's like, in life, I don't need to seek any validation from anybody.
Like, when did you learn that though? Because
I feel like I've always had it in me because my mom was a person. I feel like that's something who, like, she instilled in me at a very early age. Like, looks are not everything. Looks are temporary because you're gonna get old. Yes. Your skin is gonna sag. You might even go bald. So you need to. So she built me. My beauty was built from the inside to the outside. And so it was always like I needed you to make sure that you don't try to get in certain places with your looks. I need you to understand that you are not just a pretty girl. Like, she used to tell me all the time, like, you have such a beautiful spirit, you have such a beautiful soul. Like, I asked God when I prayed, because my mom wasn't supposed to have kids. So when she said when she prayed over me, it was more so a situation where she prayed for me internally. She said, I want my child to be beautiful inside. Like, and if you give her any outer beauty, thank you. I appreciate it and I'm grateful for that.
He went above and beyond.
Thank you. Thank you. But I had to learn it, like, of course, like, being a teenager and being realistic, like, we go through our times where it's like, oh, I don't really like the way I look. I feel like I look funny looking, but I feel like that's because society made you feel a certain type of way.
Yes.
So.
Okay, so I watched in my favorite podcast, she said there was an experience where she would always take a lot of pictures and she never felt like none of them was cute, but then she'll go back weeks later and see it and see that they actually were cute.
That's how I be feeling sometimes.
That's the weirdest thing. Like, I get that every time. Like, I will literally sit here and do my hair, my makeup, everything, put on a brand new outfit and still not feel that cute. Like, I know everybody else will see it, but I don't see it as much, and the devil will, like, trick you. And that's why I feel like I want to just pour into other people, because I'm that's just focusing too much on myself when it's not all about me at the end of the day. And I feel like everybody coming to that realization, like, it's not all about you. How about you do stuff that makes your soul look beautiful? That's
what I'm saying. And so I definitely do understand that for sure. Like, and I think that's where, you know, as women, like, I feel like women have it so hard with looks. Like, we try to just make ourselves presentable for society or for who we're dating or for whatever our workplace is, but it's something that's within. Like, that's why it was another reason why I cut off my hair. You get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like personally, like, I have like a newfound image where it's like, I did cut my hair because it's like, a lot of people say that, like, oh my God, you're so pretty, like, you have great hair and different things like that. Like, I am aware, genetically, I have good genes. I am aware of that. However, cutting my hair off was the most liberating feeling that I think every woman should cut their hair off and start over.
I've done it twice.
Yes, yes. I remember when you did that.
I've never wore it outside. So even the fact that you have the confidence to do it outside and look great doing it,
oh, thank you. Because this is hard.
It is.
Like, today was hard. Like, right now I am like kind of like sort of contradicting myself, but it is definitely, it was hard because my hair right now, I hate it. Just me personally speaking, but it's like, you know, listen, I'm here.
And you look so good. First of all, let's give it up for Mia's outfit, okay? Because my girl can dress. Like, talk about fashion, fashionista, that's Mia. Okay, guys, that concludes the episode for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you turn on those post notifications, and also follow my girl on Instagram at
Mia Mulan.
Yes, I will link it down below. So thank you, Mia, so much for coming on, and as y'all know, that's the secret.